It's time to predict the scores for game week 33 of this 2023-2024 Premier League season. What a game week 32 was, especially for you guys who are playing along in the Superbru Predictions League. Bert's 11, top scorer with 14 points and 3 perfect scores overall. And at the top of the leaderboard yet again is Joggett, currently on 322 points. Ahead of his nearest rival Blue Orbit, now on 310.5 points. But we move quickly now on to game week 33 with the first prediction.
Okay, so first up, we're starting off at midday on TNT between Newcastle and Spurs. Now, Newcastle getting a bit of momentum towards the end of the season. Hopefully, for them, pushing them into Europe anyway. Good, solid win against Fulham, who've actually been decent as of late. And then Spurs, fantastic performance against Nottingham Forest as well, especially in that second half adding to it. This is a really tough one. They say never to back the early kickoff, don't they? And this is one that you cannot back any team with, really, because either one could come up with a victory in this one, to be honest. So, yeah, let's sit on the fence and go 1-1.
Yeah, Spurs' record, I don't think it's been that great since the turn of the year.
Actually.
Newcastle, decent at home. They're kind of, the same sort of standard, aren't they? That's why I've gone for a 1-1 draw in this one as well. Gameres, I think he got the goal in that last fixture for Newcastle over Fulham in a great 1-0 away victory. Yeah, as I said, I'm going for a draw in this one, which probably won't really aid either of these teams. Moving on to the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we've got Brentford against rock bottom of the table, Sheffield United, who've actually picked up a few points of late. Okay, they haven't been victories, just some draws, and I don't think that's going to be good enough for the Blades to escape the drop zone. Brentford, terrible run of form themselves, although they have had 3 draws on the bounce.
And they've had some tough ties as well. They're scoring goals. An
excellent 3-3 draw against Aston Villa in their last fixture in this one. I think this one's going to be tight because Sheffield United have been a real hard nut to crack lately. But I think at home, I think it was Wissa and Mbeumo starting up front in that fixture against Villa as well. So in this one, I'm just going to sneak Brentford with a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same as well. Brentford, obviously no wins in 6. Both teams are loving a draw at the moment, but I just think with some of the draws that Brentford have been getting them against as well, they're just going to edge it out. Sheffield United, Wild has shored up the defence there, however, I just don't think it's enough and they are still leaking a few goals, so let's go 2-1. Anyway, next up we've got Burnley up against Brighton. Now, Burnley did turn it around for a little bit, however, losing 1-0 to Everton, and Everton with another points deduction there, of course, by the way, absolutely deserved, I should say, so they really need to watch out around from there. And then obviously coming up against a Brighton side who are not in good form at all, and it even looks like De Zerbi could be being poached in the summer as well, which is not good news for them at all. Getting absolutely battered 3-0 by Arsenal. Can they bounce back? I think they just about will. Burnley have improved a lot, but too little too late for me, so 2-0.
2-0 to Brighton, yeah. I think this one's going to end up in a draw. I think Brighton will find it tough at Turf Moor. Brighton's away form hasn't been that great either since the turn of the year. Burnley, we know their form has been decent apart from that away defeat against the Toffees in the last game round. So sit on the fence with this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Manchester City coming up against Luton. Now, we know that Luton can score goals. However, they are coming up against Manchester City side who are starting to turn things again. 2 back-to-back wins. A very good win against Crystal Palace. Okay, they did concede a couple of goals in that fixture, and I think Luton will actually score against the Citizens. Man City in action on Tuesday evening, time of recording, against Real Madrid, and that's in Spain as well, that one. If they come through unscathed in that one, they don't get too many injuries, and De Bruyne continues with his fine form, then there's only going to be one winner for me in this one, and it's going to be Man City 3, Luton 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same in a way, but just 2-1 to Man City. While they have been in good form, Luton do like to grab a draw here or there, don't they, at times, and at the end of the day, they can score goals, but they just cannot seem to defend. But yeah, I think with that Champions League fixture, especially against Real Madrid tonight, I think that will set them back a little bit, but Luton are going to look to bite at this chance, and obviously now they've seen that Everton have got another points deduction, it's time to force forward. So yeah, let's go 2-1 to the Citizens. It's going to be a close game though. Anyway, moving on, Nottingham Forest against Wolves. Now, they're going to be licking their lips, aren't they, at Everton? Especially the fact that they're in relatively decent form, minus the loss last time around to Tottenham, but that is against Tottenham, isn't it? Wolves, at this point, you could pretty much say they're on the beach. They're not going to go down. At the end of the day, they're not even going to finish in Europe. It's a little bit too late there, so we can see a bit of rotation. Going to sit on the fence again, 1-1.
1-1. I think with Forest needing this one a lot more than Wolves, whether Wolves can push into those European spaces, probably not the Nuno Derby, and he will want to put a win. You know, he will want to get a victory against Wolves in this one. I think they will. It's going to be very, very tight, though, but I think they'll just sneak it 2-1. Next up, 5:30, live on Sky, we've got Bournemouth coming up against Manchester United. Now, Bournemouth, okay, decent form of late, but looking at who they've beaten, it's been like Crystal Palace, Everton, Luton, and a draw against Sheffield United. And last time it was a loss against Luton as well. That's why I've actually gone for a Manchester United victory in this one, which probably will raise a few eyebrows, especially with Man United not winning in their last 3 matches. They drew against Liverpool, although Liverpool absolutely dominated them in that
Only
match.
in the first half, though.
Yeah,
second half was a different story.
Ish, yes, but in this one, I think Man United going forward, not in Europe either this week. I think they're just going to sneak it down there on the south coast. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to the Red Devils.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester United as well. They should have more than enough to win this game, especially with the second half performance that they put in. Mainu, very, very good in midfield there as well. Bruno Fernandes with an absolute worldie. So, it should be another Man United victory. And at the end of the day, it looks like they're going to cement that 6th position. But anyway, moving on. Moving on to Sunday, we have got Liverpool up against Crystal Palace. Now, Liverpool looks so poor in that second half against Manchester United. Luis Diaz, and in particular as well, Mo Salah, I thought was really poor.
He's got a penalty though, didn't he?
He did, but that will pretty much pull the wool over everyone's eyes on how poor he was in the second half. At the end of the day, anyone like Harry Maguire can take a penalty and look absolutely dreadful in a match, but... yeah, Crystal Palace, another team sort of there, but they're not directly safe, are they? They're in that sort of realm of where Everton, Brentford, Nottingham Forest all are, and are not in good form either. And for that reason, I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool. They're going to want to bounce back from Liverpool.
Bounce back. 2-2. They're in decent. They're in second position in the league, and they are playing on Thursday evening against Atalanta in Europa League
as well, though.
And they play this one on Sunday at 2:00 live on Sky, of course. Crystal Palace at home. Liverpool have got the best home form of any team in the Premier League. So for that reason, I think they're going to come through this one unscathed with a straightforward 2-0 win. Next up, we've got West Ham coming up against Fulham. This also takes place on Sunday at 2 p.m. Sort of where Fulham's sort of falling off a bit of a cliff. West Ham themselves are in European action on Thursday against the form team of Europe, Bayer Leverkusen. Haven't lost in the German league, of course. In this
probably
one,
be invincibles as well, and I think they can even still do the treble as well.
Possibly, yes.
Which is nuts.
In this one, though, it's an all-London affair, isn't it? West Ham, okay, they're in 7th position, just the one victory in their last 5, and that was last time out against Wolves away from home. Wolves, I think it was a VAR decision late in that match, but West Ham came through with the 3 points in the end in this one. I think because of that match on Thursday evening in Germany, I think this one's going to end up all square. Fulham, back-to-back defeats. I think they'll get something out of this one just.
This absolutely screams up a 1-1 draw, doesn't it? And that's what I'm going to go for, to be honest. West Ham obviously having a lot less rest days than compared to Fulham as they are in Europe. So yeah, 1-1. Anyway, moving on to the 4:30. Arsenal up against Aston Villa. First up against pretty much guaranteed 4th and 5th there, especially if Villa pick up form as well. But at the end of the day, Arsenal have got the bigger rest. They can take the advantage that Liverpool are playing later in the week, and also the fact they're in better form as well to really push those points up, and even win the Premier League if they can as well. Still cannot believe I'm saying that 5 years later after some of those squads, let's just say. But yeah, screaming out for a solid 2-0 victory here.
Yeah, Arsenal on Tuesday evening playing Bayern Munich, time recording, and Aston Villa playing Lille, I think it is, isn't it, on Thursday in the Conference League. So Douglas Luiz as well is serving the first of 2 match suspension for gaining 10 yellow cards, and that's a massive miss for the Villains in the middle of the park. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 thumping by Arsenal here. I think they're going to get destroyed, Aston Villa here. Although Ollie Watkins got amongst the goals, got a brace last time out against Brentford. So you never know with Ollie Watkins in the side. A 3-0 victory to the Gunners. And the final fixture of this game week takes place on Monday evening. We've got Chelsea coming up against points deducted again. Everton, 8 o'clock Sky, under the lights. Difficult one to call this one because Everton and Dyche want to prove everybody again that they can stay in the Premier League. However, at home, Stamford Bridge, fairly impressed with Chelsea going forward, but they are leaky at the back. I'm just going to edge it to Chelsea in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory, and Cole Palmer will probably be amongst the goals or setting them up because he's been a revelation this season. Yeah,
100%. This is what's interesting. The extra points deduction, I think, is going to motivate Everton, and I have not been impressed with some of Chelsea's performances, in particular against Sheffield United. I know they are in what you could say is fairly decent form for a Premier League side, but lots of draws, lots of very, very, very close games as well. I think they're going to stumble here to Sean Dyche. Let's go 1-0 Everton.
Wow, an away victory in London for the Toffees. So that concludes our predictions. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website if you're playing along in that game. If you're not, just leave your predictions as a comment and we read through each and every one of those. Now, Nathan, this weekend, Cardiff City away in London against Millwall. Are you going?
No.
Your quick thoughts before we go?
Give Bullet the contract.
And the prediction for that score?
They're on the beach. Let's go 1-1.
1-1, yeah. I'm probably going to go the same. Thanks.
Neil Harris derby.
It is indeed. Yes, thanks for joining us once again. Enjoy your Premier League weekend. It is really hotting up, especially at the top of the table where it is a free horse race for the title. But thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you all in the next video.
6 shots, yeah, straight to the face, and I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way, so I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe, so I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking